here and see all the projects.
Rock on. Next, James, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm James from Ethereum Foundation. To give you an idea, I work on lots of different projects involved in staking, rollups, currently working on an execution client project and lots of various internal operation stuff too. Prior to that, I was an entrepreneur with successes and failures. So I've been in the shoes of the people about to pitch. So it'll be interesting to see.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And last but not least, certainly, Jamie. Jamie, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Mikey. Jamie Schmidt here. I am the co-founder of Club CPG, also founder of BFF and Color Capital, which Cantino and I run together as a family office. We invest mostly in the consumer goods space, but also a lot of Web3. Before that, I built my own business in Web2, a brand called Schmidt's Naturals, which I scaled to an acquisition. So I'm stoked to give some feedback on some decks today, and there's some pitches, and thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. All right, let's get off to the races here. All right, so I'm going to review these ground rules once again. Each pitch is a video. It'll be about 2 minutes. Each panelist, that will be Eric, James, and Jamie, will have about a minute to provide constructive feedback. And then I'm the facilitator. I will be politely asking you to move along. So without further ado, first up in the queue, we have in our pitch is Anonymiss. I'm not going to go through everybody because they'll get said throughout the rest of this accelerator pitch day. And so with that, Anonymiss. And here we go.
I'm Amanda, the founder of Anonymiss, and we're building a decentralized alternative to insurance for NFT theft. So we have a subscription membership NFT. It's a 1-year renewable subscription, and fees from the membership NFT are deposited into an escrow wallet that's controlled by the membership. And one of the main member benefits is the ability to request reimbursement for any NFT wallet assets that are lost due to fraud, scam, or theft. So there's a max upper limit, fixed coverage. You can only request up to 1 ETH or the market value of your assets at the time of loss. One of the biggest questions that we get is, how are you going to prevent fraud? So our coverage is no fault. If you click on a bad link, that's sort of what we're here for. But we have contracted with a third party, rug pull finder, to investigate each of the claims that we receive before we report them to the membership, in order to just ensure that we are only paying out legitimate claims. And we have a machine learning AI app that we are using that will calculate the market value of the assets at the time of loss. One thing that's really important is that Anonymiss is not insurance. We are a peer-to-peer risk-sharing platform. So in that model, users get to own their risk as opposed to transferring their risk. And we're regulating the product using the blockchain. And that's because we're not subject to state insurance regulations, which is pretty huge. We've done this by using a limited scope DAO model, organizing as a mutual aid society, and incorporating a legal wrapper that limits personal liability. Some of the key differentiators of the product that are pretty cool is our first of its kind subscription smart contract, which executes the subscription functions completely automatically on chain with no manual prompts or back-end management. And we're creating a living on-chain security record. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much.
Eric, you're first in the shoot. Go for it.
All right. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I would have liked to see a little bit more information about maybe the market size and what opportunities, what that looks like, just to build up some excitement there. But yeah, I think that it's an exciting space, the peer-to-peer insurance market. And I wouldn't be afraid of mentioning that it is kind of like an insurance product, but a peer-to-peer version. I think it helps clarify what it is, for me at least.
Thank you. James.
I knew I was going to have so many questions, but I can't ask them. So while I think there could be merit in it, I wonder if it's the right time for the company, because I know all startups have a you've got to get your timing right as well. And I don't know that, so that's something to think about. I would love to know what sort of appetite there is for people who hold NFTs to take it out. And what I didn't understand was around the 1 ETH. Are you going to have up to 1 ETH back or not? I didn't really understand that part.
Thank you for that feedback. Jamie.
I think it's definitely a needed product, but I think there's a big opportunity to introduce it in a way that's really compelling with some storytelling. So we've all heard about scams and fraud, and so like, can we get, maybe open it up with some of those stories? Maybe you had a personal experience or something that inspired you to create this. I noticed that in the deck you say that it's scalable, so I think it'd be interesting to go a little deeper into what that might look like for how the business or the product can expand. And then curious to know a little bit more about the go-to-market strategy. Good job.
All right. Wow, this is going to be intense. So let's buckle up. This is great. Thank you so much. We're out of the gate. We got the first one going. All right, take a sip of coffee or whatever it is that you're drinking at this moment in time, and we're on to the next. All right, this one is Forms.
Draper and Hirsch, co-founders of Forms. NFTs offer limited storage capabilities with a focus on a single unchanging dimension, whether that's a piece of generative art, a profile picture, or a document for real-world assets. But Forms is here to change that.
And that's starting with the Forms Fractal Universe contract, which will enable any NFT to be a permanent access key to a crypto wallet without its private keys ever being exposed to anyone. You can see how Forms will be using this tech on the right, introducing dynamic NFTs. Each NFT's wallet will store official and unofficial new looks, storytelling drops, and even ERC20 tokens.
The Forms collection will see different artists reinvent our aesthetic in a seasonal structure, maintaining the same traits so that holders have a consistent NFT identity, but with novel styles, as seen here. And while Forms will produce official seasons, now unofficial commissions and derivatives can associate and belong to their Forms NFT. And there's a big market for artist commissions and derivatives, but the problem is artwork never points to the NFT of origin, and provenance is hidden in email chains and DMs. But now for the first time, commissions link to the original NFT, both for the Forms collection and eventually for all NFTs.
And when we make the FFUC available publicly, we'll capture some of the value that's created. And one example is via royalties through establishing an artist commissions marketplace. The bottom line, our tech will enable all NFTs to hold other NFTs and ERC20 tokens. And we're excited to both participate and observe new applications that emerge from this primitive once we've brought it to market.
So, with all of this said, we'd absolutely love for you guys to join us for Forms Season 1, a journey full of reality-bending stunts and sardonic sci-fi.
We're thrilled to announce that we'll be onboarding our Genesis community this Monday. So if you'd like to learn more, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much.
All right, so that is Barney, Spiro, Draper, and Hirsch of Forms. We're going to just keep doing the same format so everybody is prepared. So Eric, you are up.
Yeah, so in such a short pitch, I had a little bit of trouble following along because it felt like the team was going a little bit into the how of like what's being built about a wallet and things like that. But then it pivoted to a product, which, is like a dynamic app. So I think I would prefer to have a very concise narrative on like the application and not so much on the underlying how it works with the wallets and interchangeable keys and things like that, because it was just a lot to try to understand in a short time. So yeah, I would like to see more focus just on the product maybe that you're first releasing with. But yeah, I don't know, that was like the first thing I was thinking of as I was going through, is just trying to piece together the different pieces because it was a lot of information.
Great, thank you. James.
I would second what Eric said. I also think it's thinking about who is your customer and why do they want to use this. Could have been a really nice way of telling this pitch as well. The other thing that sprung to my mind was around the marketplace. You're going to be dictated by the big marketplaces. in royalties and things like that. So that's something to consider. And if you're going to start your own marketplace up, then that's a whole nother conversation about how do you distribute and build that out.
Thank you. Jamie?
I think you did a great job. I do think it would have been important to hear the why a little bit sooner. Similar to the other feedback you've been getting, just bringing up the problem a little bit sooner, like why should we care about listening to this pitch? And I always love stories. You're gonna hear that consistently throughout my feedback, like who are you? Why are you building this? Like, it's nice to get a little sneak peek of who the team is. So good job, good luck.
All right, thanks everyone. Couple of quick PSAs. We are running very well ahead of it. We do have a POAP. The POAP secret word is in the chats, so please do take the time to go there. I will hit our judges with it in the private chat, so you can redeem it as well. It is a bit of a distraction. We have some time afterwards, so don't, it's like a 3-minute escapade. We had Patricio play the game on our last podcast. It was hilarious. The founder of POAP. In any case, let's get to our next pitch, which is Herolight. And this is Jimmy Gorham. And here we go.
Herolight lets gamers turn trophies into Ethereum. My name is Jimmy Gorham, and it's my great pleasure to introduce you to Herolight, a new type of rewards platform for video game players powered by Web3. Welcome to the Nexus. As you can see, if you visit our homepage, the Nexus is intriguing. It offers exploration, mystery. There's a story here, and there's rewards to uncover. If you just want to get down to the details, visit our documents library, where you can learn about Herolight, including our white paper, which goes in depth into exactly how it works, where it's going, and includes an illustration that demonstrates the tokenomics model that will allow players to make money playing video games. All the mint fees that are collected will be put into a rewards pool. Players will then collect trophies over the course of a 3-month season, and at the end of the season, they'll choose between 2 paths. First, there's the path of riches. Second, the path of glory. Players that choose riches will split all the funds that are in the rewards pot. But players who choose the path of glory get to participate in a decentralized world-building game and the chance for their hero to become the star of professional comic books, animated series, and more. Players who choose the path of riches will, on average, make more money than they put in when they minted their hero. Also, from the documents library, you can meet the team. It's led by Andy Wing, who pioneered American Express membership rewards program. We've got a great team with experience in gaming, rewards, narrative, technology, and more. It's a great project. There's so much here. I'd love to share more. Please reach out to me. I'm Jimmy Gorham on Telegram, CPG Genesis member. I would love to tell you more about what we're doing. Thank you.
All right, that was Jimmy Gorham of Herolight. Eric.
Yeah, I like the pitch. It was a little bit unconventional, I'd say. There weren't slides, but yeah, I like the intriguing nature of it, and it definitely made me wonder, okay, what is this? So I think you succeeded in that, in accomplishing that. I would have liked to see a little bit more about what the game was, but I think it's fine to also leave it hanging and kind of follow up with that after the pitch. So good job, James.
I like Jimmy's energy. It was really good, and he also said Jamie's favorite word, story. So that's another plus point for him there. I got a bit confused whether it was its own game or whether you played in other games. That's what I didn't quite understand. And whether you choose to make money or glory, that's another thing of okay, how do you turn into its own professional comic books? I'd like to know that. I'd like to know more about it and like where else it could go, but definitely intriguing.
Jumping in here. Yeah, I like the style of the pitch. I like the enthusiasm. I like how you went into the team. you mentioned you'll make money in a certain way, and that confused me, but it might just be because I'm not a gamer. So I would just maybe reframe that or just give a little more context around that. And then referring people to the white paper just felt a little like overwhelming. Like, oh, I don't know if I can take it all in. So if there was like, could be some sort of quick summary of what you think the white paper entails, that would be helpful to the audience. That could be good too. So nice work.
All right. A reminder about the POAP. Again, for our panelists, this is intense. And for the folks that have spent all the time putting their pitches together, thank you. As somebody like James has alluded to earlier, in terms of pitching lots of people and hearing lots of no's or getting critical feedback, feedback is a gift. Hang in there, take it for what it is, and continue to go forward. And we're all going to get to where we need to. All right, next in the chute is Knightley. And this is Graham Gintz. Here we go, Knightley.
Hey there, my name is Graham Gintz. I'm the CEO and co-founder here at Knightley. And what Knightley is a platform where anyone can launch Web3 venture clubs that are owned by their community members. And our venture clubs, we generally try to target 3 specific areas: cities, alma mater, and specific affinity groups. And really the idea is providing a platform experience so that community managers have the tools that they need to grow and build entrepreneurial communities. And then all of the entrepreneurs, whether they're on the founder side or the investor side, have the tools to not only do collaborative due diligence, be sharing things like pitch decks, pitch videos, product demos, things like that directly in platform. But then on the investment side, actually can leverage our alternative SPV product, which uses blockchain to quickly syndicate capital. And this is incredibly more affordable than a classic SPV and avoids many of the tax and accounting hurdles that SPVs have. Our core focus in 2023 is targeting the top 100 academic institutions here in North America, going after the top 25 tech ecosystems where we think there's opportunities to build. And selling out a venture club from 0 to 10,000 members yields us just about $13 million in revenue each. We have additional products like being able to be custodian over people's tokens of their deals, which is a SaaS product. We have a clever way of making money on the interest of these deals once they have had their liquidity. And ultimately, what our big mission here is to make entrepreneurship more approachable, more accessible, and allowing more retail investors to be participating in the businesses that are directly a part of their communities. So feel free to reach out, ask any questions, and welcome to Knightley.
All right, that was Graham Gintz of Knightley. Eric.
Yeah, thanks, Graham. Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting space. I actually work in a very similar space. I would have liked to see some visuals, something to make it, just a little bit more tangible. And it just left me with a lot of questions, probably because I'm too close to the too close to this space, and I understand the intricacies. So yeah, I would love to follow up after the call. Happy to connect and chat through some of that. Yeah, I think having a bit more visuals and like that would have been a little bit more appealing.
Thanks, Eric. James.
While I'm interested to hear more, I think I don't understand the problem enough from that pitch to know what are you solving. Like maybe Eric knows this because I haven't done it. So is this a big issue that lots of clubs are going, oh, we could do a venture club if we just had all the tools ready to go? Are they thinking like that, or is it more this is, oh, we haven't thought about a venture club, but this would be a really easy way to get started? And that's I think there's a differentiator on how the customer is approached and how the potential client is approached. The other thing is, I suppose, is that a lot of these things have to deliver value consistently to keep the community there over, they set up, they get going. to 80%, 60%? What's your drop-off rate of this, of people that sign up? That would be really interesting to have if they've thought about that and whether they've got a big enough market after that happens as well.
Thank you. Jamie.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting. I'm also personally pretty involved or interested, I guess, in this space. You mentioned at the end that you want to make entrepreneurship more accessible. I think that's great. I think I would have opened with that because it took me a second to understand what was happening or what exactly you were building. I do think there's a lot of other people exploring this path and doing similar work. So I would just lay down the foundation of like what the competitive landscape is and what the opportunity is. And then one of my ongoing thoughts was, what are the legal hurdles? Is this actually, is this possible to pull off? So I would just make sure you get a little bit into the diligence that went into putting this business idea together. Good job.
Fantastic. All right. Thanks, Graham. Rolling right along. This is MEWKANS, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. But Alejandro is of MEWKANS, and here we go.
Hello, my name is Luis. Nice to meet you, and I want to thank you for letting me share the story that originated the project MEWKANS. So on October 24th of last year, 2022, I was contacted by an extraterrestrial being from a distant planet. I thought he was a psycho, a prankster, or even a ghost, until the time to reveal itself came. But just before that, he had made an unexpected discovery on his planet, a portal with access to all the blockchains, and also a room full of technological prototypes that we realized that can be sent through the portal and transformed into NFTs. The fact of this discovery led us to the first phase of our project. The functionality for these NFTs is not tied to one single collection, but rather to anyone with an NFT they love so much they want another one of it with some kind of additional spin. Any NFT from any collection will be eligible to participate in the MEWKANS prototype test trials, where your NFT will be exposed to mind-bending experience. We will take your NFTs and make the most interesting alterations possible, all that while keeping the identity and the style that you've come to love from your PFP. Thanks so much for your time and have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right. MEWKANS.
I like the lead up and the storytelling, but then for me it sort of dropped off when they started talking about what they're building, because I just kind of don't understand. Like you have these NFTs, you can combine them with your existing NFTs, and then I don't. Yeah, that was the main confusion point for me. It's just I don't really understand what the product is, what your business model is, like the core of it. So I think just a little bit more focus on that and clarifying that, I think, would be great.
All right, James.
Again, good energy. The storytelling, I was a bit confused, but I hung in there and I got it. And I think the mutant NFTs have been wildly successful with some products, and maybe someone owns a rare NFT and they want to make a mutant and they make money out of that. I was assuming this is the plan, but assume is the word. I may have got that wrong. So while it could be fun, I worry about its long-term viability as a product.
Jamie? Thanks, James.
Yeah, I agree that it was definitely creative and fun. There was some confusion on my end too. I wasn't sure exactly who you were pitching to. Was it like the founders of the NFT collections or the artists, or was it the community members, the holders? So I think some clarity around that would be good. And then the question of like IP rights and things that enters my mind too. So good luck and good job.
All right. Thank you. Next up, we have Nerwo from, I guess it's Ivan and Luca. And here we go.
Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm here to talk about Nerwo, a new platform that's changing the way Web3 freelancers and contractors do business. At Nerwo, we believe in safe and secure transactions without sacrificing privacy. That's why we use on-chain data to create trustworthy digital identities and a decentralized core to resolve any disputes that may arise. Our goal is to guarantee equal opportunities in the job market and shift trust from people to the blockchain. So, why us? Being in the Web3 market since 2016 and entrepreneur since 2020, me and my business partner have a unique understanding and drive to make Nerwo a success. Despite setbacks and challenges, our resilience and determination have kept us motivated and united toward our goal. With the right resources, we are confident in our ability to create a game-changing product in the market. The market for freelancers is huge, and our target market of anonymous Web3 freelancers is growing faster and faster. We estimate that by 2026, we'll reach over 870,000 freelancers and generate over $47 million in revenue with an estimated average fee per project of $54. Instead of our competitors, we offer a comprehensive and decentralized solution with a strong focus on security and a communication and design approach that aligns with the Web3 culture. The market validation is significant. Through the over 35,000 Web3 freelancers already active on Fiverr and the growing organic interest shown by these professionals through our site and social channels. And that brings us to our financial ask. We are seeking $275,000 for 1 year coverage to help us grow faster and achieve our vision. Thank you for considering Nerwo. We believe in our platform and we hope you will too.
All right. Eric.
Yeah, good job. I think for me, what would have been nice is emphasizing a little bit more the problem you're solving for either freelancers or for individuals looking to hire, and driving that home. I've seen other projects kind of in this market, and I just have a bias of like, I don't really understand what the problem is. But you know, that's just me personally. I thought there was a lot of content, a lot of slides. So I would just, for these short pitches, I would just try to be more focused on a few key points you want to drive home. But yeah, I thought it was a clearly prepared pitch with a lot of thought put into it. So good job.
James.
I definitely think there could be a marketplace for this. Lots of people want to remain anonymous. I didn't get from the pitch how exactly it worked. What I would query is, how does the decentralized court work? Is that because that obviously any disputes that don't get settled in a good way will get really bad PR, I believe. And then there was an 8% fee, and then which side is that paid on? Because maybe lots of protocols, or definitely the contractor, would be against paying an 8% fee. But it's not out of line with what other job marketplaces charge as well. In terms of what I would focus on, I guess one of the things in the pitch was they said, why us? And then they went to reading the descriptions, it was talking about them being scammed. And I thought that was slightly away from the direction of what they were actually trying to pitch. Because it was, oh, we've been scammed before, which had, I didn't know if that was been scammed from being a contractor or they lost their NFT. So there was something a little unclear to me.
Thank you. Jamie.
Yeah, I'll build on what James said. I actually really liked seeing the why us, because I feel like that's been missing from a lot of the pitches. But I do agree that there needs to be a little more connection there. So the storytelling is awesome, but just maybe leading more into like how that's directly related to the product. which makes me think there might have been, maybe something was missing around what the product is actually solving, or what the product is. I also think it was well prepared. I think there was a lot of thought that went into it. It was nice to see some things like market size, projections, competitors. That's always helpful. But I think, being a little more concise with a shorter pitch is good too. So good job.
Rock on. All right, folks. I'm going to pat myself a little bit on the back here, especially as the ops guy for CPG, that we are running right on schedule. We just hit the halfway mark of our 12 pitches. I want to thank everybody who has participated to this point. I want to especially thank Raf and Caitlin, who are so involved in the accelerator every day and put all of this together. They went and reached out and secured these wonderful judges for you to give you feedback. So I want to thank the judges and the panelists right now. It's not really a judgment, it's a panelist. And we're going to keep on rolling. We are at the halfway mark. Again, redeem that POAP. It is the pitch for the win. The spelling is specific. You can get it now. Go grab it, do your POAP redemption. And with that, we are moving on to nf.dos. And this is Connor Davidson.
Hello, I'm here to introduce you to nf.dos, the token gating platform that aims to bring Web3 to the masses. We've all heard comments like this before when trying to educate someone on Web3. Web3 isn't fun. There aren't any killer apps. It's just a bunch of people trying to get rich trading crypto. Or Web3 isn't easy. Don't I need some sort of wallet with crypto in it? Where do I even buy crypto? Or maybe Web3 isn't safe. There's too many scams and bots. Like many other companies in the space, we're here to address these concerns and build a platform people love using. Remember how fun the early days of Web 2 were with applications like AOL Instant Messenger, LimeWire, and even MySpace? Our platform aims to bring back the fun with lightweight and intuitive sub-applications that mimic what we loved about Web 2, just built using Web 3 architecture. We also make plugging into Web 3 easy. Multiple logins, complicated settings, and cluttered UIs make it hard for new users to get on board with Web3. That's why we offer a simple solution with single sign-on using wallet or email, a familiar and lightweight UI, and the ability to create customized gated spaces in minutes. Lastly, our platform is safe. Access and ownership permissions are stored on chain, weeding out bots, scammers, and hackers. To use our platform, simply create and customize your 2D virtual space, define access parameters by token contract, and share content and communicate with your community, friends, or colleagues. What's more, at nf.dos, we value true data ownership. Any value created within a virtual space is owned by the creator. All content, assets, and user data are bound to a liquid, non-fungible token. We hope you see the potential in nf.dos to bring the fun, ease, and safety into Web3. Thank you for your time and consideration.
All right, nf.dos, Connor. Eric, you're up.
All right, yeah, thank you. I really like the pace and the amount of information that was on the slides. I'll just point that out because it was, bold fonts, not too much text. I didn't feel like I was drinking through a fire hose, so that was really great. I really like the lead up. The problem was clear. Things I've heard before. But then I think where I lost track a little bit was when we transitioned to talking about token gated pages. And to me, token gated pages doesn't necessarily match up with the original lead up and the problem. And if it does, it would have been nice to hear more information about that, of how does how does creating token gated pages solve this problem, and who's this problem for specifically. But yeah, great work.
Oh, we lost James for a hot minute. Jamie, sorry.
Yep. I have to agree that the aesthetics were really pleasing. I like the different fonts. It was easy to follow in that regard. I think it would be helpful to know if other brands are building something like this, because it seems like this type of platform is probably something common, I would imagine. And maybe more about the user. You mentioned individuals and businesses. Maybe a little more about the business application would be helpful. Good job.
All right. Well, we'll wait for James to get back. Oh, there he is. Here you go.
Have you guys all been?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, Connor. I dropped out and had to restart. Well, you went big. Web3 isn't fun. I'm gonna make it fun. I liked it. It had a really nice structure to the presentation, which I thought was good. My biggest, the part I heard, I thought there's already stuff out there that big platforms do use and already have as a already have a lot of the features that you talked about. So I wondered what's the big compelling reason to move over to nf.dos, and that's what's really sticking in my head. It might be maybe you've got this equivalent product level, but better distribution to get into people's hands and they start using it versus anything else. But that's one thing I would really focus on. What's the big, yes, I need to use this product over the things I'm currently using?
Thank you. All right. We are going to keep rolling right along. Thanks, Connor. Up next, we have OneGrid, which is Lawrence, L, and Room. And let's get to the video tape.
Hello, my name is Lawrence, and we're building OneGrid dedicated to making Web3 more accessible and easy to use for creators and their fans. We're a team of 3, supported by an advisor of 6 great professionals, and Jelle and I had a digital agency for 11 years that got recently acquired by EY. To give a bit of background, so the rise of Web3 and the tokens related to it offered a complete new tool set for brands and creators to experiment with, right? So new ways to fund work, new ways to have a direct connection with an audience, and also new ways to transform consumers in more active stakeholders and participants. And that's why we see a lot of brands and artists moving into the space and launching their projects. Now, based on own experience, launching a project has a lot of difficulties, both technical as high cost involved. And we believe experimentation should be more easy in this space. And that's why we launched OneGrid, so you can easily spin up your own custom branded page and launch your tokens without any technical complexity. And you could even connect existing contracts and collections to the grid and then start rewarding fans with exclusive content or product claims based on the collections and tokens they have in their wallet. And as you see, we have made a modular design architecture because we believe the future should be endless modular, and where you could activate and deactivate those components that bring the most value to the grid. How is our business model? We work with a sales cut of 10% on each token sale, and we have a subscription for these token gated experiences in the grid. How is our go-to-market? We go directly with partnerships. We are having signed a Web3 record label deal. We have a couple of partnerships in the pipe, and we've planned around 10 grids, 10 launches in the coming 2 months to start testing out the product and then iterate from there. There we go. Hopefully this gave a good glimpse of what we're doing. Looking forward to further connect.
All right. Eric, you are up.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where to start, but I thought it was interesting. I would like to see what else is out there in the market. You know, I had was working with Rarible for some time, and I know they're building a product where you can launch your own marketplace really easily. And so I'd love to know how this compares to what else is out there, and you know what's the secret sauce here that's going to allow you to compete, because I think it's a pretty crowded space to create you know, NFT pages and NFT, you know, drop pages and things like that. So we'd just love to know how you're going to navigate that and how you guys are going to win.
James?
I think if it was easy to create engaging features from your toilet, then that would be wonderful. But obviously, it's extremely hard to do. I think it sounds like the founders have the right background to pull something like this off if they've been in this digital space, digital audio space for a while. I am aware there's a lot of other startups doing similar-ish work. So same as Eric, what's the big pull to it? It might be that you have contacts and then you get a really big name in, then everybody wants to start using it. But you've got to have something that draws in the artists to wanting to use OneGrid.
Thank you. Jamie.
Yeah, you did great. When you opened it with, we want to make Web3 easier to use, that felt like a very big statement to me because Web3 is just, huge, right? And so how specifically? I would just hone in a little bit more on what you mean there. And I appreciate the go-to-market. That's helpful to see, and congrats on the record label deal.
Fantastic. All right. Thanks, OneGrid. Thanks, panelists. We are going to keep this train moving. So next up, we have Keen with Spilnota. And let's get to the next video.
Hey, I'm Keen, CEO of Spilnota.
Greetings, I'm Vlad, CTO of Spilnota.
We met as a team in September last year on the Kyiv Tech Summit Hackathon. In Ukraine, we have witnessed the power of people that gathered and did unbelievable things during the war. Made me think of a social potential we have not fully unlocked yet. Everyone will be part of tokenized community, and every organization will treat the customers as its community. That's why we are building a company around the mission of synergizing ideas and communities. During last bull run, the investors lost at least $2.7 billion in the rug pulls, and founders should focus on delivering value and let our framework do the rest. That's why we are building a growth platform for community-oriented startups. Our protocol protects investors from rug pulls by enabling refunds, and our tools will make them more trustful and whole long-term. And founders using our framework will gain proper reputation, which will lead to faster fundraising. Web3 needs to regain trust after last year's events. Our first goal is to improve the standards of fundraising. We are early, but already achieved enough to prove our intentions, and I don't want to stop on solving two problems. In 5 years, we will become the place for every community to start their journey, like Product Hunt, Kickstarter, AngelList together on the blockchain steroids. We have been in the space for 9 years in total, so we know what people need and how it feels now. We have shipped around 25 software products for companies that are used by millions of users. Very excited about our future, and at the same time, I realized that we can't do it alone. That's why we are raising $1 million in a pre-seed round to hit our goals by summer of 24. We are going far, and we want to have the right partners by our side. Are you with us?
Thank you, Keen. All right, Eric.
I really like the storytelling and the narrative throughout. The one thing I got caught up on was it seemed like one of the key differentiators here was protecting investors through refunds. And I know that I've seen that in the past for another project, and one of the main challenges there was around whether projects actually want that, because imagine having a cap table with a bunch of investors that could just pull out at any time. It's not very stable source of capital. So I would love to some exploration of that problem that you're looking to solve, and making sure that that's a problem and making it clear to in the pitch that it's a problem. But other than that, I really enjoyed the pitch.
All right, James.
I picked up on what Eric said as well. Is that I think it's the ERC20 refundable token is what they're talking about, and it's controversial. And also, if protocols don't build it, it doesn't go on the Spilnota platform, and then you have got a niche of protocols that want to go onto it. I'm not entirely sure if you don't have that, what else does the platform do? It did slightly, the pitch did slightly lose its way because it started talking about being the angels list as well. So, and it didn't really go into any more detail what it meant by that. So I think a little more clarity there. But I did really like Kian's conviction, because I couldn't stop thinking about how convinced he was about it as well. So that was really good to see.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to echo both Eric and James, but I definitely could feel the passion for what you're building. That seemed very sincere. I think, the same concerns around, is this something that founders would want with, the token or the potential for the refunds? And so I would speak to those concerns specifically in your pitch. If it's something that you truly want to build, like I would acknowledge that, you've gotten feedback that, that this is a concern. And so show that you understand the concern and how you're going to address it. You mentioned that you're raising $1 million. I would just go a little bit into like what specifically that money would be used for. Good luck.
All right. Thank you so much. As Kermit would say, moving right along, footloose and fancy free. Next, we have Trailblazer Tribe. All right. This is from Chris, and here we go.
Hey, I'm
Just kidding. This one.
Learning can't be sexy. Well, we aren't Justin Timberlake, but we are bringing sexy back to learning with a fun and rewarding educational platform. As you can see, we're doing things a little differently. We're building an immersive, interactive, gamified educational platform with learn-to-earn, digital rewards, and on-chain course verification. I wanted to let you know a little bit about the Trailblazer Tribe. It is more than an NFT project. The Trailblazers is a brand and philosophy. 85% of people believe they need new skills to stay relevant at work. Immersive learning increases knowledge retention by up to 75%. And revenue in online education is projected to reach over $166 billion in 2023. We want to be the #1 platform for immersive gamified education. Learn to earn, digital collectibles, and soulbound token verification is seamless for Web3 natives, but we see more value and opportunities in traditional markets. Our initial capital will come from NFT sales, but our initial profit will come from Web2 people wanting to learn Web3. Web3 is a very small market in general, and we see our growth coming from more traditional markets like healthcare, construction, hospitality, and OH&S will benefit from immersive learning. The Trailblazers will be as much a B2B business as B2C. We're also looking at white labeling this tech for educators in other industries. We work with major kids brands and see huge potential for brands to harness this ed tech with interactive, gamified learning and rewards via digital collectibles. We are taking a holistic approach to education, including donating to schools in need. So, how are we going to do this? Our team has been working in content creation for over 25 years, creating our first AR app 7 years ago. There is more, but that will give you a quick overview of our vision. If you'd like to know more, please visit our website. There's a link above, below, or somewhere close by. Thank you!
All right. I hope we didn't get taken down for copyright. We'll have to check the stream on that one. But that was great. Chris, thank you. All right, Eric, you're up.
Yeah, I really like the energy, and this right off the bat, it kind of caught your attention. So really good job with the pitch. It definitely made me want to learn more about what the product is. Very little was actually given in terms of what is the meat of the product, like an example of an app or something more tangible. So but it gave me enough of a sense of I want to learn more. So I think if that was your objective, I think at least for me, you accomplished that. And I'd be curious to see what's behind the scenes.
All right, James.
I agree. I just wrote great intro, and then it kept on going as well, which is also really good. So it was a very nicely thought through presentation, and it had stats in it. And who doesn't love stats as well? So I think that was also really nice to see. What I think could have done is followed through with, then goes down to Eric's point of, these are the stats we want to learn, and this is what we'll teach them. Learn to earn has been done for quite a while, and I think if you just create a really good platform, you don't necessarily a good education and a good flow and structure, you don't necessarily need that to to make something work. But it's a really intriguing learning via fun. I'd be intrigued to see what they're doing with like brands like Lego and things like that as well, because I think it's one of the few that I sort of thought was we're using Web3 technology, but we're doing also learning for other areas and other industries, which would be interesting to know more about.
Yeah, Jamie.
Yeah, definitely fun. The pitch was well organized. You've already clearly made some progress with the brand partnerships. I do like the extension beyond Web3. I think we probably haven't seen enough of that in some of the pitches. You know, how does your business transcend Web 1, 2, 3? The learn to earn left me a little confused because it's not clear what exactly you're earning. You mentioned digital collectibles, so it'd be nice to hear a little more about what that looks like. Good job.
I'd like to break protocol and comment as well that I think it would be great to say, like, this is why people would want it, need it, and it happens to be on Web3. This would be a really nice part to see more of.
Yes. Yeah, I would like to see that across all the pitches. You know, I realize that, you know, we're pitching Web3 businesses, but I think like that application is going to be pretty critical.
Find and keep normies. Yes. All right. Next up, we have Benjamin with W3 Art. And I have to say, I'm going to just pause before we go into this one because we do have a little bit of time. I want to thank our panelists, Eric, James, and Jamie. Thank you so much. The feedback has been like precise and succinct, and I think valuable for everybody that's been pitching. For everyone that put forward this pitch day, thank you again. It has been really great to watch all of these. There's so much passion and so much has been poured into making them that it really is inspiring. This is exactly what CPG Pop and the CPG Accelerator is all about. What's fun to share on this part of the stream, because I do have a couple of minutes and I'm going to take them, is that the chats have been lit the past couple of months and folks have been sharing their tactics and techniques, helping each other with their pitches. We just see this happening where it is very much not the Hunger Games, but it is much more of the old school, we're all going to make it. WAGMI for the folks that are old school Web3. So I really want to thank the community for pulling together on this. And again, thank our panelists. And we are here now with Web3 Art and Benjamin.
Hi guys, my name is Jirai. I'm from Amsterdam and I'm the head of marketing for WeArt.
Hello, I'm Stefan. I live in Cannes and I am the head of commercial at WeArt.
Hey guys, I'm Ben. I live in Cannes, France, and I'm the CEO and founder of WeArt. WeArt is an NFT tech startup based in Cannes, the world's leading festival and event destination. WeArt is a design-to-earn ecosystem that aims to merge art and technology in a way that creates unique, unforgettable experiences for our customers. We believe that the future of art and technology is a bright one. We started as an NFT project studio, but have grown into a full-fledged digital experience provider. Our goal is to gather Web3 enthusiasts interested in participating in a business that helps bring the decentralized future to the masses. The aim is to introduce these individuals to Web3 by bringing them digital solutions that are easy to adopt. These solutions should help resolve or simplify problems without the need for extensive technical knowledge about blockchains or NFT. WeArt has already made significant progress in the industry. We have partnered with a range of artists, venues, and industry leaders to collaborate on bringing this technology to the masses. Our future plans involve expanding our B2B services and providing our NFT tech solutions to different events, venues, and businesses. Our business model is twofold, and we make money by partnering with artists to drop NFT collections and by providing our NFT tech solutions to businesses. Our goal is to simplify the process of managing and authenticating access passes, and by doing so, we are creating a safer and more convenient way for people to experience physical events.
All right. So sorry, that's WeArt. I didn't listen to these ahead of time too. I wanted to be surprised. So Eric, you're up.
Yeah, thanks guys. So I would have liked maybe a more standard in a way format, you know, of setting out the problem you're looking to solve and talking about the product that you're building. I think I got it in the end, but I think you know, I probably understood what the product was near the very end of the pitch. So yeah, it would have been nice to hear the problem, your approach, who some of the partners are that you're working with. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. Thanks.
I think they came across as down to earth and like very passionate about what they do, but I was a bit confused because they started with, I think they probably spent too much time introducing themselves. It's a 2-minute pitch and you've spent 15% of your time saying hi. I think then they were talking about design to earn, and just as I thought I understood what they were doing, I was met with access passes and meet to earn. And that confused me a bit of like where the focus is. At least they put in there like where they're going to make their revenue sources from. But I don't know if it's, again, with the timing of a startup is really important. And is this the time where businesses are going to pay for this type of thing at the moment? Or do they need something else more compelling? But just having some more structure around it so I understand a bit clearly would be good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would probably piggyback off a lot of what James said around just some clarity on what the product is, because I thought I understood it too, and then as the pitch went on, I thought, oh, this is just like maybe a competitor to token proof. So I think just getting a little more like very direct on like what it is you're offering, and going into that competitive landscape. Because if it is a token gated, you know, ticketing system, for example, like who else is doing this, and where do you see the opportunity? What's the white space? But I like the energy. I like seeing all the team's faces and hearing your voices, and I wish you luck.
Amazing. All right. So thanks, WeArt. Moving right along. Xtraverse. This is founded by Sebi.
Sebi Rubino, and at Xtraverse, we're enabling Web 2 marketing automation in Web 3. This is super important because 95% of NFT projects are unprofitable because Web3 lacks tools. Development cost for an NFT ecosystem with a marketplace, a website, and a whitelist is $5,000. It takes almost a month, and this limits the entire industry. We solve this by enabling instant NFT launching and promotion. We cut cost from $5,000 to $20, development time from 20 days to 20 minutes, and this unlocks unlimited potential. The NFT market is growing at a massive rate. The founder, Chris Cantino of CPG, has even said every major NFT collection will host its own marketplace, which is exactly why we're building Xtraverse. We have proven demand for a $20 per month per launch and 2% transaction fee subscription. We're growing 40% month over month, and we have $320,000 in ARR signed in LOIs. We're also already working with some of the biggest names in the space. Isaiah Koto is our lead engineer as a serial entrepreneur and someone who's founded a development company. Austin Norman is our community marketing expert who has already built a top 25 agency, did $50 million in NFT sales, and I founded a prop tech that did $1 billion in GMV. We're raising $1 million to reach $2 million in ARR, grow our development team, standardize Web3 marketing through automation and education, and grow our Web3 community through an amazing product. Thank you, and I look forward to connecting.
All right, Xtraverse and Sebi. Eric.
Yeah, thanks. I think it's an interesting space. I believe in the narratives that you were talking about, but I think that this space has a lot of competition. Would have loved to hear like how you're going to differentiate yourself, and you know how you're ultimately going to win. But yeah, I thought it was a good pitch.
Thank you, James.
I thought it was a good pitch, solid team. I worry about white label anything. And maybe I'm going to go against that quote from Chris Cantino, and I'm not sure that every NFT is going to have its own marketplace, because I don't know how. I don't think I see that in any other industry where they have their own. There's always somewhere where people don't want to go to each individual ones. But it could work, I guess, in some cases. But overall, good pitch. Gave me some very clear information. I understood it all. I think I would look at, as I said, like, what's the big differentiator, and why do people want to build a white label marketplace? Because maybe there is a more upfront cost of building your own, but what is the value you can keep on giving someone, rather than just a quick head start, because they will eventually move off you, and then you lose that revenue stream.
Thank you, James. Jamie.
Yeah, I agree with the other panelists. I think it was well organized. There's a strong team. The marketplace concept of every project having its own marketplace, I think, is interesting, but I think it'd be helpful to go into the reasons why. What's the problem with the marketplace system that we have now? I mean, some are obvious, but I think that was missing in the pitch. So well done. Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. Jamie went against what Chris said. I'm just kidding.
No, I think it's up for debate. I think it depends on the project, and we'll get into that later. But
100%, it was great. All right, I was expecting this to go much longer, but we are at the conclusion of our CPG Accelerator pitch day for the building team. Again, I want to thank Eric and James and Jamie. On the screen right now, you have the secret word. It is open for a little bit longer. I will actually open it up. I know we have a tight timeline, but I'll open it up to the panelists to give one final thought for our pitch attendees, and then we will wrap, folks. So we'll go right through it again. Eric.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. I thought it was really amazing to see such a diverse set of projects. Fundraising, building a startup in this environment is pretty tough. And so, keep on chugging along, keep on solving problems, and yeah, we're all going to make it, hopefully.
Thank you.
I would say it's great to see all the builders out there and all the different ideas. I think if I was going to give some general feedback, is like, what's your value proposition? What's the clear why? What key point, the pain point, does it solve for me, and why should I want to listen more? And there was only one pitch that had any statistics in there today, which was eye-opening for me, because it's obviously something that really gives someone a flavor of the problem that you're addressing immediately. And yeah, look forward to seeing more.
Thank you. Bring us home, Jamie.
Yeah, that was really, really fun. Everybody did an amazing job. I think there was so much work that went into these pitches. If I had to give general, just I guess, advice, I would say don't be afraid to pivot in your pitch or in your strategy. It's not easy to build a business concept, and as we start getting feedback, we start getting new ideas, and so don't be scared to pursue other paths or scrap your idea altogether, or just stick with it. Like, filter the feedback too, right? Like, if you're not agreeing with some of the things that people are telling you, that's okay. You don't have to, take everybody's feedback to heart. And so ultimately it's you building what you're building, and you're the only one that's, best positioned to do it. So go get them.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, CPG Accelerator community. Thank you again to our panelists. We are at the end. We hope you can join us for a couple other things. For the CPG community, please visit rewards.cryptopackageGoods.com and fill out your profile. We promise there's a lot of fun things coming. We are going to be in NFT Paris next week, but we will have a Genius Call at this same bat time, same bat channel. For the folks that have never seen a Batman episode from the early days, that means it's going to play at the same time at this same channel next week. And last thing, we will be in NFT Paris, and we're looking forward to meeting up with some folks. There are some active live chats. Please let us know that you're coming. We're trying to arrange some fun stuff. We look forward to seeing lots of CPG and pop folks IRL next week. Thank you so much again for attending, and we will see you again soon for our accelerator in March. All right, everyone. Thank you. Just hang on for a second.